Morning student. Today we are going to learn about the systematic diagram of gas chromatography and in detail about the column and its type. So if you look into the previous class, I have discussed about the carrier gas, ideal nature of the carrier gas, and what are the carrier gas which is being used in gas chromatography. I just missed out to say that the most common gas to be used in gas chromatography is helium, and apart from that the nitrogen, hydrogen and argon is being used. Just remember this, the premium gas to be used in gas chromatography is helium. And then one more thing which I would like to share with you is when the gases flow, it flows through the sieve, so that if there is presence of any other particle in that, it is being absorbed on that. And then there is a measurement of gas regulators, there is a measurement of a gas pressure using the gas regulator, and then it flows the flow current and the sample loading which we have seen in the previous class. So just let us look into the type of column and what are the material or the stationary phase which is making column, and what are the different type of sample which is being separated using this stationary phase. So the main focus today we will do on the column. So if you look into the column of gas chromatography, it has been classified into two categories: a packed column and a open tubular column. Further, the open tubular column has been classified in three different categories, which I have not mentioned. The one is called fused silica wall coated. So just make sure that you remember fused wall coated silica, right? Fused silica wall coated. And then WCOT, SCOT. The WCOT stands for wall coated open tubular, and SCOT stand for support coated open tubular. So these are the three different type of column, which is a type of a capillary or open tubular column, and the next one is a packed column. So we'll see the difference in the if we go to the slide third, you can see the difference between the packed column and the capillary column. Before to this, I just wanted to mention about the three different type of open tubular column or capillary column. If you look into the three different type of open tubular column, is a WCOT, SCOT and fused silica wall coated, that is FSWC. So how does it differ? Before we learn about the difference in these three open tubular column, let us learn about the history. It will gives you a glimpse that how fascinating it was to make a new type of a column, or which was necessary to make the change in the column. So in the early 50s, generally the packed column was used, and when the time proceeded led to 1950s, open tubular came into the market. But it has got a lot of problem. The main problem was the concern, it was a patent, and the other concern it was a mechanical strength and sample loading. So to reach to this open tubular was a great challenge. In 1977, the patent of this type of column was released, Oryx. Thereafter, a lot of open tubular has come into the market. So what is the difference between the WCOT and SCOT? So when you look into the difference of SCOT and WCOT, a wall coated column are simply a capillary tube coated with thin layer of a stationary phase, and if you look into SCOT, it is the inner surface of the capillary is lined with a very thin film of a support material, that is diatomaceous earth, which gives its much better separation, or it increases the efficiency of WCOT to SCOT. Apart from that, the FS or fused silica wall coated came into the market. It was that the coating onto the surface was done with the silica in which was embedded with the metal oxide, and that increases generally the strength of the silica. It is because when there is a flow of acidic gas or the acidic solvent into the column, it leads into the you can say it leads into the corrosion and it damages the column. So in order to prevent FSWC or fused silica wall coated came into the existence, and it also increases the added the strength by outside protective polyamide coating. Generally this WCAT OCAT was made up of steel, alumina, copper or plastic. Later a glass column began to be used. And let us come to the packed column. So in packed column, the packing or a solid support is a packed column holds the stationary face in a place so that a large surface as possible is exposed. Generally the packing into this is done by the stationary face, that is generally a diatomous earth. So you can see that here. And if you look into the difference, right, if you go to the Skoog, and there is a beautifully the difference is beautifully given into the Skoog. It is with respect to the length, inside diameter, efficiency and sample size, how much you need to load it, relative speed and flexibility. So if you look into all this, the fused silica wall coated is much better than all the three types of column. Here I am making the WCOT, SCOT and packed column is three different type, and the fused silica column is having greater efficiency. The efficiency, if you look into the reported per plate, if you look into the efficiency of FSWC, the plate per millimeter is the plates per meter is 2000 to 4000, whereas in WCOT is 1000 to 4000, and SCOT it is 600 to 1200, and packed column is 500 to 1000. So with this you can understand, right, the efficiency of the column generally depends upon the number of theoretical plates. So you can see the number of theoretical plate here, and you can understand the how this FSWC is much better than the rest two. Let us now learn about the material which is being used as stationary phase. So I have tried to show you the different type of stationary phase. You can see here it's a polydimethyl siloxane, polyphenyl methyl dimethyl siloxane, polyphenyl methyl siloxane and 50% phenyl, with the common name and the maximum temperature they can wear with. So I have told you previously also why does this stationary phase need a high temperature to withstand the high temperature, because most of the sample which you are separating here has to be turned into the volatility, so it should withstand this temperature. And the common application depends the type of stationary phase you are using, or vice versa. You choose the stationary phase based upon the common application which you need to do. For example, you take polyethylene glycol, the common trade name is carboxywax 20M, and the maximum temperature it can withstand is 250 degrees Celsius, and the common application which is used here for the separation is a free acid, alcohol, ether, essential oils and glycols. Apart from this, we learn about the detector. I have given you what is the ideal character of a detector. So just look into that. The sensitivity should be very high. When we talk about very high, means it should sensitize or it should detect the sample into the range of 10 to power minus 8 to 10 to minus 15 gram solute, right? And then it should operate at very high temperature or at the temperature till 0 degree to 400 degree Celsius, and it should have a linear response and then wide dynamic range. So when I talk about the linear response, the meaning is that each time when you do the detection, right, it should not change, the response should not change, right? And the response should be fast and non-destructive. We will see about the type of if you look into the type, I have written it's a concentration dependent and mass dependent, and I say non-destructive. So generally a concentrated dependent detector is preferred, because if we look into that or if we use that, the sample is not being degraded. Thank you. We'll see about the detector and application and the stationary phase more in detail in coming class.